Yeah, right. We've ticked it. We have ticked it off. Right, I am doing slides this week, by the way, because otherwise I won't remember all of the things. So I was like, I need to put them somewhere. Right, bear with while I figure out how to share my screen and then make it massive. Right, here we go. Here we go. Right, let me just see who's in. Yeah, perfect. Try not to offend Karen this week. That's always good. Oh, I've skipped. Hang on. I've pressed a button. I've pressed like four buttons, and there's too many buttons over the way for me to do it like that. Hang on. We'll go back. Start that again. Right. So, 10 underrated habits that I genuinely think serve you in strong hair. And I would also say I do them too. So, there are clues in this. And I know, to be fair, some of you guys definitely even come up with some of these things. And I think that's amazing. We need to shout about that. Other people need to know about these tricks and different tips. So, I just want to kind of go through them. Nothing actually majorly exciting. It's just things that could genuinely help you out. Um, but before we do, obviously, Undies, she hit an amazing half marathon PB on Sunday, I want to say it, and that was phenomenal. 5 minutes off her previous time, and 5 minutes. I'm not a runner, but some of you guys do love to run, and that is enormous, though, as a time difference between the last time she did it and this time she did it. And you know what the biggest difference is? Her body fat reduction. Because when you are moving with a greater amount of mass on your physique, naturally, it is going to take you longer and it is going to be harder. So the fact that she is now like this close to her reverse diet phase is absolutely incredible and testament. And that's one of those metrics that's amazing to be able to see. Andrea, first stone gone, and the same for Louise as well. So both of them, congratulations, because that is a incredible milestone to hit. But there were so many wins as well. Like honestly, I could go all day just on the wins. I really could. And welcome Natalie to your first week inside of StrongHER. 1 week of many to come. So. First one I wanted to start with is the concept of beginning your week on a Sunday. Now, I think this is a double pronged angle that I come at this with. My first angle on this is for those of you who know you're to be able to get a training session in on a Monday, instead of thinking, right, okay, now I've got to find them in the rest of the week. And that might feel like it can get away from you a little bit. Try the idea of actually going, I'm going to hit a training session on a Sunday, and that's actually going to be my first session of the new week. So rather than thinking that you get a day behind by potentially not being able to do them on maybe a Monday or a Tuesday early in the week, think about getting ahead and actually starting your week on a Sunday. But the second side of this is it's very much it's something as a business owner, and we do have quite a few business owners inside of the program, but it's very much a business owner hack where if you actually sit down and spend a tiny bit of time on a Sunday going through your week ahead, what have you got planned? What might derail you? What do you need to schedule in? Where do you maybe need to play around and go, right, okay, that day I am in meetings all day long. My steps are likely to be lower, but this day I've got a bit more flexibility. So rather than just living in the day, actually bringing it back to the Sunday, looking at your schedule for the week ahead. Now, that might be childcare. It might be, I don't know, half term. Some of you guys are on half term now. So it's those kind of things of going, right, okay, I've got to maneuver the children around, or I've got to think about X, Y, and Z. How can you plan ahead so that instead of just falling into the week and allowing it to derail you a little bit, you're actually looking ahead strategically and actually starting to plan your week like a business owner would? Like, we don't really have too much of a choice. I need to know exactly what my pockets of time are, when my availability is, when I've got a bit of push, when I need to pull back a little bit. And I'm not saying things can't derail you. Your period coming in, slapping you in the face, waking up to that was not how I intended to start my week. I did manage to get back on track and feel a lot better, but it's those kind of things. Things can come at you a little bit left and right, but there are a lot of things that I think we go, oh God, this is coming up in my week, when actually you knew about it ahead of time. So that's not a derail, that's a self-sabotage. So understanding the difference between where you let the ball actually drop and between things that you actually are a little bit out of your control and you can't always navigate. But controlling the controllables is definitely something that is within all of our power. Batch cooking and pre-portioning out meals. So to me, it's really interesting because I watch women come into this program and do this religiously. They will, like, Aksha is a great example of this, where, and my God, like, I haven't actually got my phone. I don't know where I put it. I always do this. I just walk off and leave things. It's like my second arm, but it's gone. But she always batch cooks. And then she'll have weeks where she doesn't do it. And then it's like, oh, okay, can you see the correlation between when you did and when you don't? How things start to stall because you kind of just like flying as it goes, rather than actually when you do bring it back, batch cook. She sent in, and to be fair, she listens when I point this out to her. She goes on a mad batch cooking spree, and then she sends in these photos of all these Tupperware dishes, and there'll be like 12 different dishes that she has back cooked in advance. Like Michelle, I'm pretty sure she's another one that does this, where she makes so many breakfasts and different things, and it can serve you really well. Now, if you work from home, so I have a little bit of flexibility about my day because my kitchen is here and I work in this room. So I can easily put things in the microwave or put something in the air fryer and I can just sit down, carry on doing my work while my food is doing its thing. But even so, if you know you're somebody that is likely to be working from home and you're going to start picking and you're going to start just going over to that fridge and you're not thinking, these are my designated things that I get for today. Again, you might even be your own worst enemy. You, even from home, might still benefit from pre organizing exactly what is going into your mouth for that day, and then you are less likely to just start grabbing things, picking things, or feeling that kind of disorganized, like, that pull that just again is not serving you. So I think it is something that can genuinely be a bit of a game changer, and it doesn't have to take long. The other key to this is make food en masse, okay? You will not find me often, and I know there's only two of us in this house, like excluding the dogs. They obviously eat differently, goes without saying. But I will make everything to probably a minimum of 4 portions. But if I did have little humans to also be responsible for, I would make bigger portions. So I made a slow cooker curry on, God, I don't even know what day it was last week. I can't remember what day it was, but it is enormous. And we ate it 2 nights last week. And let me show you, just so you can see that I'm not talking out of my arse. This is the remainder of my slow cooker curry, which I reckon there's probably at least another 3 to 4 portions in there. This tub is enormous, but now that's frozen. Hang on. Oh God, I'm breaking the freezer. By the way, if I do your check-ins, you will regularly see me just go and start grabbing shit out of the fridge and freezer to demonstrate. It's probably quite annoying, but it is what I do. But this is it. So we cooked it last week in the slow cooker, dead easy. And all I did was just double up on all of the ingredients. So I just took the recipe, which said it fed four, probably accurate because we did have 4 dishes out of it last week. And then I'll defrost it again for this week when we're ready to go again, because obviously you don't want it to be too boring. But that is my life. Same for chili, same for spag bol. To me, spag bol and chili, I was saying this to somebody the other day, exactly the same thing. all I do is just switch out the chili and I put mushrooms in them both. I'll put kidney beans in them both. I don't care. I'm not precious. I will literally just sub out rice and I will just put in pasta and usually do the spag bowl first. Then I add in chili, reheat it so then it gets the heat and I'll just put it with rice. That is it. By the way, Thomas is going to start doing his cooking behind me. He's just got home and he's having the pie that I made yesterday. So again, batch cooking. So just ignore him in the background. But the poor man has just been to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which I find a very massive mouthful and can't say. So big portions, think, especially as busy women, if you're like we don't have 1,000,001 hours, and especially if you don't love to cook either, get it out of the way, make enormous quantities, and then you've got your week set, haven't you? Really, really straightforward. Build an office or home survival snack kit. So these are the things that if you get stuck in a meeting and you suddenly don't have the choice over the things you're having, or your day starts to go to shit, where you literally have things in your drawer. Gemma was a great example of this the other week when she said she wanted to have certain food and then she got given a cabbage sandwich. And she said, I wish I had some snacks available. That's the kind of thing that we can easily implement. Like it's really easy to, be it a protein bar, be it some fruit like an apple, something that can sit in your drawer, just easy things where it could be like something like Snacker Jacks. Do you know what I mean? It might not even be a protein snack. It might just be a low calorie snack where you go, right, okay, that's just going to keep me going to get me out of this major hunger dip so that I can actually have my proper food when I'm ready to have it. So I would definitely say building out an office survival snack kit, also great for corporate women. Hang on. Schedule movement like a meeting. So this is almost a bit like the planning the Sunday thing. So most of you guys will have meetings in your week, but do you diarize your gym sessions? Do you diarize? Do you diarize when you are going to get your steps in, when you're going to be walking, moving? Another one for me, and I see this with high achieving women all of the time, is not having a motherfucking lunch break and then going, oh, I just worked through. No, 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 that's not serving you. That's the pre-strong her way that is just not serving you. Now, from me, I'm obviously an employer, but if I had a huge team, I would be a dictatorship on that you all take your minimum required lunch break. Now, it might not be a full hour, it might be 30 minutes, might be 20 minutes, but productivity will massively drop if you just sit in front of a screen for hours and hours and hours on end. 95% of you guys work behind a screen. So the ability to get up, move your body, and potentially use it as a break to actually have food is also going to be paramount. So uncompromisable to me. There may be the occasion where you are expected to work through a lunch break. That may well be something that you can't control or meetings overrun, but it should be the exception, not the rule. And most of you women hold a position of authority and power where, again, you can do that. You are in control of your own schedule and you make sure that you are actually having your lunch break. But for me as well, I mean, I know exactly where my workout sessions are, and I also know my diary. Like today, a little bit derailed by the fact that I woke up in a lot of pain and thought, oh God. But my next available slot to do it was my lunch break, thinking, right, okay, I could squeeze an hour in here, and the gym's obviously 2 minutes away from where I live. But that was something I could do because I know my schedule and I can look at my diary and go, this is what I've got to get through today. Here are my pockets of time. But for me, going one step further, actually scheduling in an appointment as if you are meeting with the CEO of wherever you work. If you are the CEO, then again, you can schedule that in for yourself. But this is our health and fitness is not just a Oh, I'll just pick it up and put it down as I can fit it in. And if you're trying to approach this like that, I can guarantee you are going to feel like you're failing really bloody quickly. So actually scheduling and diarising things in, very much going to serve you. High quality protein at every meal. It's an easy one. It's something we should be doing as a first and foremost. Every single meal you have, you should be thinking, where is my protein coming from? That is the building block that everything else that you've got on your plate should be sitting around. So, what is it? Is it tofu? Is it halloumi? Is it chicken? Is it beef? Is it prawns? Whatever it might be for you, it could be literally a protein shake, like my breakfast with my oats. That's something that I go, right, that's my protein in that meal. But you need to be thinking every single meal, where is my protein coming from? And it's a really easy thing to do where you will get to a point where if there's no protein in something, you'll be like, wait, hang on, what's going on? Like I live my life now just intuitively asking myself, right, there's protein, 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 what are we having for dinner? Protein. And it's all planned around my protein. Like whether I'm having spag bol, right, mincemeat. That's what I'm buying in the supermarket. I'm not necessarily thinking, what meals am I going to make? Although you should be. I pretty much eat very, very structured things most weeks. But like this week, I was like, oh, I'm going to make a chicken pie. And last week, sorry, I was like, I'm going to make a chicken pie. And I knew, right, that's my ingredient. I need to get the chicken. I don't have chicken, so I need to go and get the chicken. And that's not something that I would usually make, but I don't know what inspired me. I felt like I wanted it. Yeah, and it is really good. High calories though, so probably out for a lot of people in this way. You could reduce it, to be fair. We just chose not to. But this is it. It's that kind of where am I getting my protein from? When I'm going to the supermarket, I think the fruit and veg comes first, and then it's always the protein. They're the next styles. And all I'm thinking is, right, I'm picking up a massive slab of salmon joint. I'm picking up my 5% mincemeat. I'm picking up usually a whole chicken. I'm picking up chicken breasts. I'm picking up ham and meats for things like lunches. That is how I'm structuring my shopping. And then I'm thinking, right, what are we having with that? Okay, we're having rice with that, pasta with that, potatoes with that. And then I'm buying in all of the other superfluous items around it. But my protein is my building block first. Habit stacking to build consistency. So, this is where you take something that you already do religiously and you stack a habit onto it. So, for instance, you could think, right, as soon as I get to my computer, my laptop, wherever I'm working, and that's something that I'm doing at least 5 days out of 7 in a week for most of you, then you think, right, okay, every single time I start my computer, laptop, whatever it is, I'm actually going to make sure I have a glass of water at the exact same time. Every single day, I'm going to do that habit. Or when my alarm clock goes off, I'm going to go downstairs and I'm going to grab a glass of water. I'm going to flush out those toxins first thing in the morning. So, alarm goes off, water. It's those kind of things where you're already doing a habit and you can't undo that habit. It exists, it's there. What could you stack onto that habit that already exists? So it's the idea of really simple building blocks. So instead of necessarily going, I'm going to get to the office and I'm going to have a coffee, you might think, right, I'm going to get to the office, I'm going to have a coffee, but I'm also going to have a glass of water before I drink my coffee. And you will get more steps in because you'll be going to the toilet a lot more. So another double-edged win, that one. Limit the weekend drift. So this is a really interesting one. So your body does not know what day of the week it is. Okay. So your body has no clue if it's a Monday, a Thursday, a Tuesday, a Friday, a Saturday, a Sunday. Your brain is what knows. So if we can stop letting our brain go, it's the weekend, and you actually go, my body has no clue what day of the week it is, and you actually, and genuinely, if you want to get there faster, weekends and not spiraling is going to serve you really fucking well. If you actually start to think, okay, my working week might be 5 days, but my brain is telling me that, and actually there are 7 days to this week. You know what? And if I really want to, especially with fat loss and reverse dieting, both of them, if you think there are 7 days to this week, I want to go on a straight run, that is going to serve you faster. It is going to get you to the goal faster. Every single time we unravel on a weekend, it is going to slow the process down. But I do want you to remember your body has no fucking clue what day of the week it is. It's your mind that you need to start thinking differently with and going, right, okay, it may be the weekend, but how can I play with this so that I can still get a bit more accuracy? You might need to do some calorie banking in the week. If you find your weekends are always challenging, you might just need to draw those calories back and bank a little bit every single day. Again, knowing your strengths and weaknesses and actually organizing yourself around those plans and trying not to just let like 11th hour plans derail you. Think, is this happening to me quite frequently? And is there something I can do about this? Yes, there possibly is. Right, I need to pivot my strategy. I need to be thinking of holding a little bit back so I don't just constantly keep on doing my work at the weekend. And I'll be honest, if you are somebody that's not dramatically, like, has a huge amount of fat loss to lose, you will find it harder. Like, the more weight you've got to lose, the bigger I can create a bit of a calorie deficit for you. The less weight you've got to lose, the smaller your calorie deficit is likely to be that we can play with. So we can extend the energy output a little bit, but we can't really take the calories too low without you feeling that pinch too much. So if you're always undoing it at the weekend, you're probably squashing your deficit entirely, even if you put in really good work Monday through Friday. It's very easy. Have a couple of glasses of wine on a Saturday, go and eat out or get a takeaway, you've potentially undone your entire week's worth of work. If the weighing scales are constantly staying the same, or they blip up again from Sunday into Monday, and then they start dropping down again, and then they blip up again, and then they're slowly dropping down, and then again, and then again, you're on a hamster wheel, and we got to get off it. So we either have to plan to bank a few more calories, or we have to start deciding I need to make a few more sacrifices because I'm eating up my deficit in the week and I'm undoing it on the weekend, and I keep having to damn reset. And I see it every single time Coach Kat and I do our Monday meeting. The first thing I'm going to look at is your daily habits. If you're not doing it, please fucking do it. Natalie, don't panic about this. I haven't coached you through it yet because I know it's overwhelming. I will be talking to you through that as we get into Wednesday. But if I'm constantly seeing, oh, lovely, 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 whoop, oh, lovely, 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 whoop, you are going to get pulled up on it. It is going to be something that I talk to you about, because the correlation between the weight always happening and then Kat and I going through everybody on a Monday and going, again, again, again. It's like that's something that needs strategizing around. We might do a bit of a weekend training session again soon. Creating non-food rewards for success. So a lot of you guys previously, the habit wiring that you will have done is, I've got a promotion, let's go out for dinner. I have successfully completed this project, let's smash I don't know, bottle of wine. I've done X, Y, and Z. Whatever that success might mean to you, you've always attached your dopamine hit to food. But this is where you can actively start to rewire that. You can start to go, right, how else could I treat myself? Like, one of our things, which it doesn't sound very exciting to be fair, but one of our things is we will actually go on a dog walk that's usually a bit further afield with a farm shop at the end. I've got a weird obsession with farm shops. That's one of my favorite things to do, go and buy fresh farm shop ingredients. So if I feel like I'm winning at life, we're probably going to book in a dog walk somewhere a little bit fancier, maybe a castle or a stately home, or like a really nice woodland walk or something with a farm shop on the doorstep. And that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to go and spend too much money in a farm shop. It might well be that you go, right, okay, I'm actually going to buy myself that new dress or that pair of shoes, or like you can start to go, I really want this item, but I'm going to wait until I hit this milestone before I treat myself to it. It might be new gym wear where you think, right, okay, when I hit that milestone on my journey, I'm actually going to go and treat myself to some new gym wear. I can't promise how long it's going to fit you for, downside, but it's those kind of things where you go, right, okay, I'm not going to treat myself with a takeaway or a bottle of wine or champagne or whatever it might be. Sometimes, by the way, that is truly deserved. Sometimes, like when somebody passes an enormous life-changing moment, you should fucking go and do the thing. Go and enjoy yourself, live it large. But sometimes, if it's a smaller thing, perhaps, or you're this close to reaching a goal, this is where you start to go, actually, you know what? I no, I want to lock in. I want to stay locked in, and I'm going to delay my gratification because on this journey, it's all about learning delayed gratification. Yes, we can get great wins week to week, but you won't really start to see it. You won't really start to feel it until we get to some of the slightly bigger milestones. Those are the milestones where you start to go, right, how am I going to reward myself in a non-undoing way once I reach this point? And again, I would start to visualize this, plan it, organize it, because this is telling your brain, I really want to fucking achieve this goal. So when I reach my first X, this is what I'm going to do. Have it nailed out. This is another massive business strategy that you need to learn delayed gratification and then reward achievements in the moments that they happen, those big milestone moments. And then you set the next goal, and then there is another reward at the end of that goal. So, another business strategy, but it serves in this context as well. Kind of touched on this, but using the damn slow cooker, like again, we saw Chloe put her massive chili in the group chat earlier. I genuinely think if you haven't got a slow cooker, you're missing out. If you are very busy, you can just chuck those ingredients in and away you go. And you come back 8 hours, 10 hours later, whatever it might be, and dinner is served. You can make your life so much easier by just implementing things like slow cookers. And where all of the training is on my YouTube page, there is an entire array of all different types of slow cooker recipes. I'm pretty sure that was a training I did while we were in Abu Dhabi. There's vegetarian options on there, like you name it, they're on there. So that's another one. If that's something you haven't done or you weren't in the program for, you could by all means go back and rewatch that. Just a heads up, it does drop in and out of signal. Like I didn't have the best signal for that, but it is all there. A walking pad. This is an interesting one because I am seeing the decline in steps. I am definitely noticing that as we approach slightly darker times, like it's pitch black outside now. And I do get it, especially as women where you might not be like in a safe place where you fancy going out at night or before the sun's even come up. I think we're probably going to get a bit more morning daylight hours while the clocks go back this weekend, not last weekend, this weekend. Never have a clue what happens. But you like we'll only get a bit of extra daylight in the morning for probably about 3 weeks, and then it just feels pitch black. And I know from working the corporate days where you feel like you never see sunlight. You go off to work in the dark, you come back and it's dark. And it is fucking shit, isn't it? It's an awful, awful thing that we are expected to do in this country, to goddamn work through every bloody hour of sunlight. Like it's horrible. But I genuinely think, for the sake of less than £150, if you know this is you and those steps are likely to start dropping at this time of the year, get yourself on Amazon. You can even Klarna it if that's a concern, where you pay in three. You could ask somebody if you think it's an early Christmas present, something like that. But if it's going to serve you, you can see the women on their walking pads even while we Zoom right now. They are a great investment as long as you fucking use it. Because I know some of you guys that have had walking pads, and I'm like, oh, your steps are still down. Oh, yeah. Well, no, no, no. Figure a way to work it. Figure a way to work it into your day. Coach Kat will do all of her check-ins from her walking pad, and she's got a raised desk. She will do that. And some of you guys, if you work from home, that could be another consideration for you to tweak your setup. I don't do that. I've got dogs. I am the primary dog walker of our home, and I make sure the dog walks satisfy me getting in my 10,000 steps every damn day. I really care about those boys, probably more than pretty much anything in this world. So they do not miss their dog walks. That is uncompromisable. More over them than me hitting my goal, I'm not going to lie. They are obsessed. They are creatures of habit. They love their routine. My boys are getting their steps in every damn day, and I'm going to be there with them doing it. Like if I have to miss a walk, I actually feel really sad about it. So it's an obsession, but it can serve you. If you know it's tricky for you, I would definitely start thinking about investing in that walking pad. And the final one is not to suffer in fucking silence. Like, you've got coaches, you pay us for a good reason. Do you know what I mean? Like this is the service, right? Like we're gonna set everything. We're gonna set strategic points where we're gonna be communicating. You're gonna hear from us. But if you feel like the week is getting away from you or you're struggling for any reason whatsoever, it is also your responsibility to reach out to us as well. Like, we cannot serve you unless we know. And you do not have to wait until check in order to be able to share that with us. Like, honestly, it is our duty to serve you and to be able to guide you on this journey. So you must reach out to us. Another thing I just want to say quickly, not actually relevant, but it came up today. There is no such thing as a stupid question inside of the StrongHER community. You can reach out to me, you could reach out to Coach Kat, and you could also reach out to the community of women that are also human, that also have struggles, that I can categorically guarantee if there is something that you are struggling with, somebody else inside of the program has probably been there too. And they might be able to guide you on what worked really well for them. But I will never have any judgment inside of this program for anybody raising their hand and asking for support, guidance, asking for suggestions, asking for advice. I don't care how silly the question you think it might be, you ask it wherever you need to ask it. And if anybody were to ever judge anything, they will be out of this program before they could say boo. I've only ever known it once. She didn't actively complain in the community. This was a long time ago. But she dropped a message to me saying something like, why do people put this in the group chat? And I was like, goodbye, like you're done. Here's your money back. I will not tolerate that. And it was rude and it was obnoxious. And I'm pretty sure that's exactly what she was trying to do. She was trying to get that reaction out of me. So I said, fuck off. Like, you are not welcome inside of this program. It is not, do you know what I mean? We are a community and we've all got each other's backs. That's what we are here for. So I'm just going to stop sharing my screen and go to the chat. The chat. Where are we? Oh God, hang on. Let me go back. It never tells me where the last thread ended and where the new one starts. There we go, this way. Official survival snack kit genius. It's just a quick hack. Do you know what I mean? Something that is it's really straightforward. Just keep something, even if it's a damn granola bar or just something in your snack drawer, just gonna serve you if things do just spiral a little bit. I needed one today. No idea what we're talking about there. Apology. I can't see the chat, by the way, while I'm doing the presentation. I only get one view. I habit stack by having a glass next to the kettle every morning, and whilst the kettle boils, I chug it down before I have my first cup of tea. That's it. That's it. Like, that is literally a habit stack going, right, I am going to do this. So for me, every Zoom I do throughout the day, whether it's somebody coming into the program or somebody that needs a bit of extra guidance or this one, I will always have a glass of water next to me as well because it's a lot of talking. Do you know what I mean? So it is serving my health and fitness goals, but it's also serving me as a person. I'm guilty of spiraling at the weekend and then trying to get back on track during the rest of the week. So, Vicky, you might need to think about calorie banking and going, right, okay, if that's something that's happening, just reserving a little bit of calories as you go through the week, that might be an option to go, right, okay, look at Louise walking right now. Yeah. And Victoria as well. I love you guys. Feel like I shouldn't bother you in the week. I save it for the check-ins. That's honestly categorically no. Please, no. That is not. And I know some of the in the initial onboarding email, some of you guys it will say this is the strategic points that you can check in, but no, please don't ever for the love of God feel that way. And I cannot stress that highly enough. Like, if you're waiting until the weekend, we might, like, we've lost a huge amount of time where we could have done something or helped you or guide you or even slightly pivot something or made you see something in a different light or whatever it might be. But please, if you think this might be really beneficial as a learning curve for other women, then even if you ask it in your private group, we might actually say, this is an amazing question. I'm actually going to paste this. It won't say your name, or we'll copy it, put it in, and edit your name out. But if we think it's a great learning exercise for others, we might then reshare it in the community. But we always want, sorry, Hector needs a wee. You're crossing your legs, baby. Says I am, mummy. It's a bit wet outside. It doesn't like going out when it's soaking wet. But you have full permission from me to reach out to me, to Coach Kat, to the community, whatever, anytime. Obviously, we sleep. Now, if it does come in the evening, late in the evening, obviously Monday night, I'm always preparing for this. So there might be times where the response back to you might just be a little bit delayed. And the same goes for a Friday. If you choose Friday to have a freak out, and you don't do your check-in, unfortunately, we will have to prioritize the check-ins. Like, there is an opportunity to freak out in the check-ins. That's what you want to do. But we will be a little bit slower to answer. So my advice on a Friday, if you genuinely do have a question that you think somebody else in the program might be able to help you with, please do put it in the community, because we just might be a little bit slower to see individual messages when we're trying to serve the mass purpose of the community all on the same day. Like, that's obviously, yeah, if you coach by me, you'll know a lot of you get it on a Saturday. Allow my life. Just take, I don't know why, it just seems to take me a lot longer than it takes Kat. She's like, she's on it. It's probably the walking pad and the walking desk setup. Whereas I'm there going to my fridge, demonstrating everything. It's like, it's wild, wild. I love the group chats. I've posted in mine and I love the support. This is it. Like, and sometimes I know it can feel overwhelming. And if you do also need to mute the group chat, that is the reason why there is an announcements chat. And that's the reason there is a community chat. You can reply to me in the announcements, but nobody else will be able to like reply or see the threads, or I'm the only person, possibly Thomas, because he's in there in case I lose my phone. It happens, as you saw well demonstrated earlier in this Zoom. But this is it. It's and by the way, like, anything that goes into that community is fully trusted. Like, no conversation gets shared outside of it either. But this is it. So if you ever feel overwhelmed by the group chat, occasionally women will say this to me, just mute it. Like, I've got no issues with that either. Like, it can be overstimulating. It's your journey. Like, you do with it as you need to do with it, and that's absolutely fine. Again, never any judgment from me if that's what you need to do. Right, it is your time with me now. any questions, any queries, any support, any form guidance, anything that you need me to demonstrate in my kitchen, anything at all, this is your time to shine. And you can pop it in the group chat if you feel like you need to explain it or mute yourselves. But this is your very live time with me ahead of check-ins. That if there's anything burning in the back of your brain or you need a bit of support with, again, safe space, use it as you will. I feel like we need that countdown, like do 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 do. Like it is countdown, isn't it? Is it countdown? I feel like I don't even watch it. I don't know. I don't know what I'm on about. One of these people who doesn't like awkward silences. Right, we'll give it another 30 seconds. Otherwise, I mean, thumbs up. Are we all good? Everyone good? I mean, I can only see, I think, 4 or 5 of you. Yeah, everyone put your thumbs up. You can do that, can't you, on your phone, on the thing? Yeah, perfect. Amazing. Right. Joe, do you get married this week? Ah!
I
That's
do.
exciting.
On Saturday.
Oh, amazing. Honestly, have the most amazing day. And like I said, we want footage, we want photos, we want to see videos, we want to see everything, but have an incredible time. And obviously, don't worry about checking if you don't want to check in. You got a lot going on, girl. But yeah, have an
The
amazing time. And yeah,
scales are coming with me though.
ah,
The scales are going with me.
oh, for God's sake, for God's sake.
No, they're on
I
my
don't
list of
condone
things
that,
not
by
to
the way.
forget.
You do not need to do that. You definitely do not need to do it. It's personal choice. I'm not going to say you don't have to, but you don't have to. But honestly, have an incredible time. I hope the weather is on side. It might not be, but it is what it is. But it's supposed to be good luck even if it rains. So enjoy every single second of it and know that we're all there with you in spirit. Just think of us in your audience and yeah, enjoy every single second of it, Jojo.
It's going to be exciting. I don't know if anyone's seen on Instagram that wedding cake where the golden retriever launches itself at
I did,
it.
I saw that the other day, yeah.
I just hope Rona doesn't do that.
I think it's even better if he does.
She's a bit bouncy at the moment. I think it's all the apples she's eating off the tree in the back garden, little bugger.
Sugar rush, like, but no, honestly, enjoy every single second of it, Joe. And yeah, share everything once it's all done. But have a lovely time. Right, love you
Thank you.
all. Mwah. See you later, ladies. Bye
Bye.
bye.